already has a barrel roll, but we'll
Finally, we have a modification that gives barrel roll.
It possibly... Because I'm not entirely keen on engine upgrade. Gives you boost. Yeah, and it sort of sits in the same... It's not as pricey, which is nice.
Yeah,
it's not as
2
pricey,
points.
but it isn't doing the same thing, because boost gives you 3 options to use, whereas this is giving you like 2.
Yeah, but
which left or right.
I actually think barrel's
left
better.
to right and infinite, because you can move it any way up or down the side.
It's not infinite, it's just the length of your base.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's giving you left or right.
I think vector thrust is actually more versatile than the engine upgrade, because it gives you lateral movement, which is something which not a lot of ships natively have access to. TIE fighters do, but rebel ships really struggle with that unless they're B-wings.
One of the few things that would do really well with a barrel roll but doesn't have it is an A-wing.
Yeah.
So the fact that suddenly push limit A-wings now have utility on vector thrusters is great. However,
it's a modification,
which means it does lose its auto thrusters.
Squish.
So you've got to make the you've got to make the bid. Do I really want to lose the fact I can get an agility, or do I want this barrel roll?
Why don't you just run Jake Frail?
Yeah, Jake.
That's what I was going to
That's
say.
my
as well.
answer to that question.
But-
Is Jake Frail.
Yes, but what I mean is, like, if you're running a few, I know one of Elliot's prized builds and turned a lot of heads was the 4 generic A-wings, or was it like named? I think there was a couple named and
2
couple generics.
2 or 3 generics, and I think Tycho and Jake.
Yeah. But the reason, obviously, the 2 generics died because they didn't really could do the things that Jake and Tycho could do. Because you had an experimental interface kind of expert handling.
I had expert
Tycho.
handling on Tycho.
Yeah.
Yes.
And expert handling is going to make some uses with this, isn't it? Correct. Which one's the one that you can
expert
do
handling?
barrel roll?
Expert handling allows you to do a barrel and remove a target lock, so it can be used with this. However, a ship that doesn't have
it
the
takes
barrel
the
roll
stress to have
gets
to do it.
stress. However, I put it on Tycho because
Tycho just
Tycho.
goes,
Yeah, that's
Exactly, but
It's
it
the
opens
same-
up that as an idea as well.
obviously you notice that something with the barrel, the A-wings that had the barrel did better than the A-wings that didn't. This just opens up to the fact that A-wings can now utilize a barrel roll. It just means you may have to sacrifice the auto thruster.
And it's the same point as the auto thrusters.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
literally
I
this one
don't
or
think
that.
that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people do.
It
Some people
works with the arc, because you've got that rear arc. That lateral
clip.
movement is going to mean a lot for someone who's when you're being pursued by someone, because you're going to be. You could also get a little bit of range movement as well. So it's like barrel roll
Well, it was
backwards
range
into
2.
range 1, hit with what you got.
The final upgrade in the pack, which I'm going to show to the camera.
Is the title.
Oh, the title, Alliance
It was in my
Overhaul.
box.
You might as well just take this thing every single time you play an arc, because
Why-
it is
Exactly.
0
Why wouldn't
points.
Why
I
wouldn't
would.
you?
I would have to. I think I would have to frown at you for a very, very long time if you
If you
didn't take it.
if you forgot
It's
to take
free.
it.
It's essentially what the ship is.
Yeah.
It's basically the same as the TIE Special Forces in regards to the fact that it's a 0 point title that adds something extra to the ship.
So what does it do, David?
So, when attacking with a primary weapon from your primary firing arc, you may roll 1 additional attack dice. So that means potentially 4 at range band 1, or 3
nice.
at range 2 to 3.
Talonbane Cobra likes
Yeah.
justice.
Yeah,
Vex
see, you know.
thrusters. I would. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, David.
Kiraxis,
That's all right.
Kiraxis, baby.
Carry
So, an additional attack dice when firing at the front. When attacking out of your auxiliary firing arc, you may change one of your focus results to a crit. Da-da!
Basically, in translation, it's a way of giving the front arc 3 and the back arc 2.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Well, 2 with the crit.
Yeah. So it's again both the SF and the Arc is sort of it's covering the all of the information for the ship is contained on the card. It's covering that sort of thing, because obviously you can't shove all this writing in and have pilot abilities on top of that. So that's why you've got these. And of course, it's as we've seen as the game's progressed, we're getting more and more and more of these titles. I like the idea. Again, as I play Armada, the characters of the ships are in the titles, which is really cool. It makes everything interchangeable.
The one thing which people were concerned about is that titles are the way that generally ships get fixed. So if they were ever to have to fix the ship, they've kind of already licked themselves. I don't think so. It's very easy to add a title which says you may equip a title.
I don't
Yeah.
think
A-wings
that,
will too.
if I don't think the ship will need a fix.
No.
Let's face it.
could.
They're
Well,
at that point where they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know every ship that.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I think you never know the combinations.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to say, release a new title for the Arc Mastery which says you may equip another title.
Well,
with this ship.
as we've seen with the modification for the Falcon that's coming that gives you an illicit slot, they also say, oh, you get a modification as well.
Yeah.
But
like that.
you're saying about that. Where was I going with this? With the second title, well, we're going to get a second title with the Heroes of the Resistance, so a second option of playing the Falcon.
The Falcon.
The Falcon, but what we're talking about here, Dave, is the fact that this essentially makes the ship what it is, and if there was another title to fix it,
Yeah,
you effectively can't have the two titles. But what we're saying is you can always put it in the card that you can have that title and this title.
Exactly.
All at the same time.
You may equip Alliance Overhaul in addition to this, or you may equip another title with the ship.
Yeah.
It's
You
very
may
easy to
take
add.
Alliance
So you have
Overhaul
like a
for
variant title like
It's already
X7
free.
or the Tides.
It's already free.
Well, you know, to be fair, just remember, there's already technically a title that does something that goes. You may get something that you don't normally can get, and that is the Mist
Mist
Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah. I
So
like
they
that.
they've done something like that before. There is no reason why they can't do that.
There are ways to fix things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, you know,
This
So-
is the future
yeah.
that might never.
So this is the Arc 170.
That is the Arc 170, which will give you one more look at the gorgeous model.
gorgeous model.
I love this a lot.
It's so pretty.
I will say this model is gorgeous.
I love this a lot. I love this a lot.
If
and
the thing will,
it was always a cool ship,
it was always a cool ship.
and
I love the fact it's got
like-
a little rebel logo, which is quite cool, and it's also got this.
it's
It's also got a very
all roughed
sketchy
up.
paint. Yeah, it's all roughed up because obviously it's an old Clone War era's ship.
yeah,
That's obviously had taken its time.
You
You
can
know.
sort of tell that from like the way if you look at what was the Clone Wars, the amount of scratching that was there on like the uniforms and the uniforms and stuff like that as well.
So
It kind of
it's
sort of
skipping again.
applies,
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
sort of applies the same sort of like aging. You're gonna ask me that question, aren't you, Elliot?
What question is that?
What do I think of it?
Yeah, what do you think of it?
If I were to give it a rating, I
Yeah.
suppose in Chris's words, I love the ship. I like the interesting stuff that's come up in the pack. But the pack itself, it gives, potentially players like me who I've specialised down playing Rebels, a few upgrades that I wouldn't necessarily have had, like for example the Adrenaline Rush. The new astromech is nice. I like that. Having the modification for the vector thrusters, that's really nice as well. It just opens up quite a lot of stuff, and I
agree.
really love
The whole pack sells itself.
It's a high rating.
It's
It's
good.
a high rate. It
It's a
sells
good pack.
itself because of not only the ship you get, but the upgrades you get with it.
It's a solid pack. I would not say to anyone you're stupid for picking up. I think it's a really good pack. You need to get an Arc 170.
Being a scum player, I'd pick it up not because I like the ship anyways. That's the thing. But it comes with 2 cards that, as a scum player, I'd love to have.
Tail Gunner.
A tail gunner and vector thrusters.
Yeah.
You know, as someone had pointed out, Talonbane Cobra and Kyrix's.
Yeah.
are
Which
really good.
you get 2 copies of Electric Thrusters as well.
Yeah.
So,
As it's a big expansion, they normally bung another card in for you.
you get an extra one, yeah. Then you get
Yeah.
2 Astromechs as well.
Yeah.
The 2 Astromechs.
Two
Oh,
copies
yeah.
of the
So 2 of 2.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But only 1 Tail Gunner.
We're gonna skip me and go to Chris because I think that's that ship's best saved for last. And we're going to show off the Protectorate stuff.
The Protectorate. Now, this is a ship which we've...
Ace is set to
While you're opening it, let's talk about
in
that,
a
Dave.
wing.
Yeah.
You've just started watching Rebels, haven't you?
I've watched
Ace
Rebels
of-
and I've actually now caught up. I've
Thing of a
watched
jig.
the whole of season 2, so I'm up to where you are now, Elliot.
Awesome.
In season 2, you get to see both the Protectorate Starfighter and what we'll see in a minute, the Shadowcaster. Don't probably want to go into too much spoiler details because that might jump it.
Yeah.
But
If you haven't watched Rebels, we recommend it.
within
It's a good
Rebels,
series.
you get to see the highly named pilot within here, Fen Rag. But we'll get onto those when we get to it. There's 2 different ways of how I think the the Starfighter itself can be played, and it's nice that because both the Chris's here are going to be running a Protectorate, they're actually playing in the two different ways. So we have to
Yes.
see both of them.
Cool.
Which we remind people, we have 4 lists which you guys can vote upon, and those 2 lists will be showcased after our unboxing in an actual match.
It would be a good idea to re-put
That's
up
what I'm
the
gonna do.
links
Yeah. So
now.
I'm gonna re-put
while,
the links
while Elliot is doing
Yeah.
that, we'll go over a couple of the first things.
Is there if I do
To be fair, you're leading this discussion this
Alright.
time, so you know.
Hello, folks. Right. So, Protectorate Starfighter, or the
Mandalorian, the Fangfighter, or the Mandalorian Starfighter.
Mandalorian Starfighter.
There is basically 3 different names for
Call
it.
it.
You choose how you call it.
Yeah. Cool. So, we got Speed 5. Speed 5 straight. There you go. Interceptor territory. You got 1 hearts, nothing else. You got a full array of greens on 2. You've got 2 Talon rolls. We've all seen how interesting and fun those are. Second ship with a Talon roll. That's pretty cool. 3s, you got a full suite of 3s. The forward is green. No 3Ks, 3 Talons, or 3 sloops. And you've got 4 forward and a 4K. So you've got a standard K and a different super turnaround movement in the Talon roll.
Yeah. I sort of, my eyes have been sort of swinging back and forth between the ship here, and I love it.
And obviously the first thing you immediately say is it's a bit of a pancake. It is very flat.
It is.
But when you think about what the ship could do, there was a reason for that design. It was a very versatile kind of slim streak starfighter where the wings rotated around the cockpit.
Yeah, the wings
Yeah.
actually rotate around the cockpit.
Obviously, you
They-
can't
they-
do that on the model, but
I'm sure
It's-
someone will modify it.
someone will
so
modify it until you
someone
can.
will.
But
They rotate.
love- someone actually pointed
That
out the other today. It's basically, if you turn it round,
It's sick.
it's a sick.
It's N3A in
It's the
reverse,
N3A.
or a remodeled A-wing. If you look at the main central part,
Yeah, but the thing is, that wing design, the kind of the small wing and the prong kind of part, is actually a main design ethos of Mandalorian ships. They all have that kind of wing design, more or less.
They got the skull thing going on.
I absolutely love this design. I cannot beg to differ on it.
It's
And
a
it's a
brilliant
beautiful, kind of stealthy, kind of versatile,
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a-
very speedy, the kind of thing you see of an arc dodger. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a Delta Wing stealth bomber.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember what the bombers are called, but you've all seen pictures of those. Right, cool. So, moving swiftly on to the cards.
What stats like, Mr.
Right,
Wolf?
stats. You got 3 attack, so you got like proper Dakka. 3 evade.
Proper Dakar.
Proper Dakka. I'm
You
green.
mean
I'm
Dakka,
green
Dakka,
under
Dakka,
this somewhere. I've got a big chopper at home. Mega armor, you know. Anyway, enough about the orcs puns. Right, not orc puns, just orc references. Right, so yeah, you've got 3 evade. So your dodgy ship. Again, standard sort of interceptor sort of style layout. I will refer to interceptor because, you know, it's the big cheese. 4 hull, no shields. So you're gonna hurt when you get hit.
It's gonna get wrecked when it gets hit.
well, it's actually, I feel it's like a mix between the A-wing and the interceptor, because it's got the 4 hit points.
Saves
Yeah.
that line with one more.
So again, Scum, as per usual, treading the line between the 2 factions, or the 2 older factions.
Breaking the game without actually breaking the game. I
I
believe was one of your references when in the earlier days.
Scum break the rules because that's their thing.
So, starting off with the zealous recruit. I'll get there eventually. 20 points, 1 pilot skill. Sound familiar?
Basically average.
Sounds A-wing territory, that does.
Oh, yes, you've got focus, target lock, boost, and barrel roll for your actions.
Shall we show them the
You've also got a singular torpedo. Bung those seismic torpedoes on there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a 22-point ship that can do a lot for a single point. That's not too bad.
So
And it's a relatively good bumper.
yeah, I've actually been undone by a bumping A-wing. It was always on the stream. Yeah, internet has seen that. At my best, definitely my best, not my worst. Anyway, so moving swiftly on for 22 points and 3 pilot skill and an EPT. You have the Concord Dawn Veteran. There you go.
So
Mr.
you
Baker.
just gained an
The
elite
name.
pilot talent,
And the name.
an elite pilot talent, and 2 extra pilot skill for 2 points.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So moving on to probably the one that you're going to see maybe the most. I don't know. Depends how well the named pilots go down. We've got the Concord Dawn Ace. So he's
I
going
believe we're both using this. This is
Yeah, we're both using
This
these.
is what me and
We're
Yules
not
are
using-
using.
we're not using any
These are
named
pretty
ones.
good. These are really good.
Single point more gets you 2 more pilot skill.
Yeah.
So you're up to 5.
What's
You're in the sweet spot. You're
in the
above
sweet
all of the
spot.
normal, all of the most generics, apart from maybe the 6s with the Royal Guard interceptors, but you never see those.
Can I just say all the generics in this set are really good.
yeah?
Really good.
I mean, I'm just like 23 points. That's X-wing money, and I'm
Yeah.
just like
The fact you get 3
Fine.
generics is unusual.
pilot skill. Yeah, it's like
But-
it's kind of like interceptor. Just anyway, so we come on to the named pilots for 25 points and 6 pilots. So you have Caden Solos.
Cad Solus.
Cad Solus.
Cad Solus, for anyone who'd like a history lesson, was in the original Clone Wars series, I believe, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember him as someone who's watched the Clone Wars. I feel kind of embarrassed that I don't. But...
Isn't he the guy that's leading the Mandalorian guys?
No, that's not Cad
I
Solus.
thought that was Cad Solus.
No. That'd be Pre Vizsla.
Oh, Pre Vizsla.
Cool. So, your ability is
Where's my gun?
after you execute a red maneuver, you assign 2 focus tokens to your ship, so your sloops just became a lot more sweeter. Woo!
The artworks for all these.
Also, you could throw stay on target on there. They do that in the spoiler example, so nothing new there.
Oh.
But it's
2
nice.
focus tokens for doing a red maneuver. I'm sorry, but what?
And as you'll see, like being super adaptable with something like
certain
stay on
title.
target with titles and elite EPTs, funness can be had. Right, so we move on to 7 pilot skill, 26 points. So we've gone up a point and gained a pilot skill. Fun in that. We go into Old Terrock. So,
he's my
at the
favourite.
start of the combat phase, you may choose one enemy ship at range 1. If you're inside its firing arc, it discards... If you are inside its firing arc, it discards all focus and evade tokens.
Hello, anti-Omega Leader.
I like this guy because that may open the door for something that you've liked.
It's not-
Opportunist.
It's not anti-Omega Leader because Omega Leader is
It's target lock.
locks, and it doesn't reference target.
No, but the way that Omega Leader works is because it has the evade token. When it has the
so
evade
you-
token, that's when it
dupe,
stops
and
you.
then you mod stuff, and
Yeah.
nobody can mod it because you're target locked them. Yeah, so he's pretty cool. Aero denial is always nice. I went against this guy and he undone me. It was not pleasant. But yeah, he's cool. Where's Jansen? Still got a place in my heart, so he's cool. And being so these guys all want to be up in everybody's face, you're going to be there. So why not just take everything from them?
Also, this guy loves to hound down the Moldy Crow.
He likes to take on a few things. He likes to kill the Moldy Crow. He likes to kill Poe Dameron.
Come on, can you imagine going against this with a crow and thinking, I need to keep it away, otherwise all that hard work I've spent gathering tokens is all
Yeah, but here's the
gonna be
thing.
for naught.
He likes people that utilizes or utilizes keeping tokens. So Moldy Crow. He likes the
Sharabay.
the Shara-
No, not Sharabay.
yeah Sharabay.
Assange.
Oh no, not Assange.
Tiger
Assange.
Assange,
Assange. Poe Dameron.
Yeah,
He likes.
yes.
He likes.
Oh, he likes
He
Poe
loves.
Dameron.
He likes giving a
Poe
hug.
Dameron.
You know.
Would even like Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah, Kanan
Yeah.
Jarrus.
Also, spookily familiar to our old friend Carnal Jax. Kind of in the same vein, a little bit more specific than Carnal Jax is.
Carnot denies you the ability to spend it, whereas he actually discards them.
Yeah, but he denies you the action as well.
Yeah, true.
Which is a bubble, whereas this is a direct no nice things for you. Which is nice. As you've seen, guys, I like Where's Jansen, boot him up to 10, take your stuff from you, have everyone hammer into you.
But also,
I still think Wes Jansen is better than this guy though because he's not restricted by range. Even though you might have multiple tokens, I attack you, you use one token to evade with, then I take your other one. So kind of in the same vein. But yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's
good.
He's solid.
The point man, the big man. Pilot skill 9,
Rao.
Fen Rao.
Fen Rao is actually the head of the
Mandalorian guys.
Well, Mandalorian, and you may have noticed the word Concord Dawn sprang.
The
to your-
Conquered Dawns, yeah. The Conquered Dawn. The Conquered Dawn is a sector
Yeah.
which they protect over.
Spoiler!
which kind of is I'm
Fen
not going
Rao.
to spoil it.
What's Fen Rao do?
Wow, 28 points for your pleasure. Oh yeah, all these guys got EPTs. They didn't get anything extra. They got EPTs and torps.
That's okay, because Pilot Skill 9.
Pilot skill 9. Hitting that magic number. Right,
Right in that sweet spot.
It's very unusual to see a scum pilot with a high star
Yeah.
pilot skill.
So, previous one to this is Cobra Talonbane. Or Talonbane Cobra. I never get that.
Talonbane
right.
Cobra.
Technically Dengar as well.
Oh, Dengar.
Dengar
Yeah,
was-
Dengar's 9.
But
Dengar.
that's still 3 compared to quite a lot in
Yeah,
Rebel
yeah,
Land.
no, definitely.
The other ones.
Imperial.
I
So-
mean, most we've got before was 8. I mean, Boba's 8 for starters, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
So,
yes.
when attacking or defending, if you are inside, if you're the enemy fire arc if the enemy ship is at range 1, you may roll 1 additional dice.
So that's 5
Really
at range
good.
band 1.
So
He
it's basically I can't remember his name. The A-wing pilot pumped up, so he does both dice. I can't remember his name.
A-Wing?
Genesis Jarrett.
Yeah, Gimmisojin. There you go. So he's basically Gimmisojin with just
On
better
attack.
Gamisojin attack rather than Gamisojin defense, because it's +1 agility for if an enemy ship's in range 1.
Yeah, so he's better Gimmisojin because he does
also
both now.
goes really well with the brand new title and the brand new what's the thing I want to say?
Elite
EPT.
Pilot-
Thank you.
EPT, there we go.
Which we will show you now.
Cool. So important.
Only 2
EPT
cards in this set, isn't
maketh
there?
the man. As man is made by clothes, ships are apparently made by EPTs. Not EPTs, titles. So you have the Concord Dawn Protector. Protectorate, Starfighter only, funnily enough. When defending, if you are inside the attacker's firing arc and at range 1, and the attacker is inside your firing arc, so you're basically staring at each other, preparing to shoot the other guy in the face, add 1 evade result. There you go. There's guaranteed stuff.
It's basically promoting a brand new playstyle we've never seen before. These are
Interceptors which
these
truly
are
intercept.
interceptors that generally, rather than want to get out of your arc, want to get in your arc.
Yeah.
Want to get
It's-
right around one of you.
It's somewhat making up for your lack of natural evade. So the natural evade action, so you can't turtle, but you do have this. But it is quite restricting in to get it. You have to be at range 1, have to be inside your arc, and they have to be inside your arc. You have to be inside their arc, and they have to be inside yours. So if they can barrel roll after you moved, then
I will point out
Barrel
that
away.
if they're a turret ship, you generally can take auto thrusters on these guys.
Yeah.
So being out of their arc, and if they have a turret, that's okay because you know. They...
What a comment on the art. It's very Ralph McQuarrie style art there. In
Yeah.
the invoking the original trilogy. Very interesting.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's cool.
Other cool thing.
Other cool thing is this fearlessness. Scum only. Sad face. Because they don't like to give all their faction nice things.
No.
When attacking, if you're inside the firing arc, if you're inside the defender's firing arc at range 1 and the defender's inside your firing arc, I
Where have I
hear
heard
another
this
thing
before?
coming. You may add one hit result to your roll. So free stuff.
So basically, if we go with Fen Rao, just for a moment,
That's
that
exactly
is a
where I was
pilot skill
going.
9 that, when at range 1, can roll an additional additional dice,
So up
gets
to
an
5.
evade result, and gets a hit.
A guaranteed 1 hit.
So good! And that's only 30 points.
Yeah, but that's still 30 points.
That's 30 points.
It's a 30
30 point ace.
That's 30-point ace that is basically on the same borders of Soon to Hell.
Still gonna cost more.
Yeah. Fell costs more. That's what I'm getting. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's like really, really good.
That's really good. Only 2 upgrades in this pack.
I was going to say, the only downside to this pack is the fact there's only 2 upgrades.
Yeah,
That
they're
go
giving you,
with the
they're giving
ship.
you lots of pilot cards. But the sad thing is, some of those pilot cards aren't going to get used.
No.
No.
I can only see... obviously, I can see all 3 of the... I can see all 3 of the named ones being used. And I can see Concord Dawn Ace.
Yeah.
In very rare scenarios, I can see the Concord Dawn Veteran. I can hardly see
They're
the
more of
Zealous
a
Recruit.
point situation
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you've got points, you want a Protectorate Starfighter,
But
you want to be
can't get
and you want to get the upgrades on them, you know, like Concord Dawn Protector, but you kind of
can't get the
Well, the
yeah.
thing with
aces.
my philosophy on that, I'm going to sound very strange now and very somewhat uppity. My philosophy on that is, if you want something, you should really make the points for it. Because I don't like to do anything by halves. If you've probably seen that in my play style. So yeah, if I wanted a Protector Starfighter, I would make room for another Protector Starfighter or build a list for a Protector Starfighter. I wouldn't just be.
I kind of have the same
put that in.
mentality.
Yeah.
I do not like what people refer to as points for the ships. They're good. They're okay ships. Don't get me wrong. I like them. But if I wanted them there, I would have wanted them there. I don't want to use them just because I've got the points and I can just fill them.
I get where you're coming from. I do understand
but for
that.
only 20 points, if you've got 20 points and you've got your aces, but you've not really got much else, 20 points for one of those Pilot Skill ones?
No, it's still not bad. Like
It's
the
not bad.
whole
It's like the
concept
same-
is
it's
still
like the-
pretty good.
It's like every ship has a place. So, in my mind, there are such situations like, we're bordering on the lines of like I like my headhunters, especially in Scum because they get some cool stuff. and it's like, you know,
I
could have
like
one of those and
that
like a,
at the moment,
more
Scum
upgrades.
are now getting to the point where they're getting one of everything, which is technically the same as everyone else has. Technically, you could argue that Scum already had an ace.
But they didn't
Not
have
like
like
an
an
arc
A-wing or
dodger.
interceptor.
Yeah, not like an A-wing. They already had an ace, but they didn't really have anything that was an arc dodger.
Yeah.
So this is now the fact we've now got the Scum versions of an arc dodger.
Yeah. We need to move on, but I actually
we
want
need to move on?
I want to quickly go around the table. I think this is a very high upgrade
Oh, yeah.
pack for me because I also like how it's also completely independent.
Yes.
That's nice.
If you don't play Scum, you have no reason to pick this up. There's no upgrades which benefit you. Fearlessness is unique and to that unique to Scum, and Concord Dawn is unique to that ship. So unless you're playing Scum, you don't need to pick up.
You
ships.
can generally see the pro and the con of this.
Yeah.
Because obviously you want to try and pick up the ships because you want to try and get things. This just offers you nothing.
Yes.
If you're not playing Scum, there is no point in picking up the ship.
Yeah.
And that's technically a con.
Yeah,
But it's also a pro.
However,
because
It's,
why wouldn't you pick this up if you're not Scum?
It's
Self-contained.
it's a self-contained unit.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely. I'm
You're not sold on
I'm not
it,
sold
yeah.
on it. I haven't seen it. The proof in the pudding will be in the eating.
to be fair, you did get your ass handed to you by them.
I did, but I knew that was going to happen. Because I don't like something doesn't mean it's no good. It means I just don't like it, and it's not. Like I looked at it and went, it's really squishy. I've seen the other like things. Yeah, you throw titles on over. At the end of the day, you're relying on dice, and dice sometimes don't like you. And I can't remember where I was going with this.
Lost your train of thought.
Lost train of thought. Oh yes, and I got it back. I found it. Like the last sort of Ace-esque ship was sort of the Starviper, and then it was the Kirax, and
Yeah.
where are those ships at? And it's like I play Guru because I like Guru's fun for Starviper, but maybe it will work. I imagine it is going to work. We looked at the stuff. It wants to be in range 1. It's getting stuff for being there. It will probably work. There is no reason if you're a Scum player not to pick it up. It's just not my cup of tea.
Just to remind you guys, after this ship, we'll be having a match live on stream, and 2 of us will be going out here and playing in that match. However, we've presented a list each to you, and we've got them in the chat, which you can look at. There's my list, there's Dave's list, and then Chris Turner's and Chris Yours' list. Mine's Imperial, David's is Rebel, and then we've got 2 Scum lists, which utilise both the Scum ships. So, but in a different way. So, put in the chat what you want to see for to face each other. Vote for two lists, not just one, and we'll get that matchup after we've done the final ship, which will be led by Chris, which is the Shadowcaster. The big